So we're chatting with the guys at HAIRitage Barbershop about all of the biggest headlines. Y'all ready to talk?
What's up? Welcome to another episode of HAIRitage Sports Talk. We're back again. We already know the Super Bowl just happened this past weekend, which was yesterday, Sunday, February 9th. Check this out. I need you guys to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 before the end of the month. So let's make that happen, y'all. And we trust y'all to make that happen. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk, where we talk about everything on the outside, everything on the inside, and everything in the cut. Before we get started, I really want to give a proper shout out to our girl Tahj Williams and the whole Good Day Sacramento crew, due to the fact that this is a spinoff from that, from In the Cut on Good Day Sacramento. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk. Today, the first thing I really want to bring up is Queen Tahj Williams, and we're talking about an artist that's from New Orleans, that the first artist to ever be able to design the Super Bowl logo, and it very well represents New Orleans. So for New Orleans, you guys did a dope job hosting this. Let's get into it. At this point, I want to introduce my right-hand man, my guy, Mr. Tony Harvey is going to come in here. How you doing, Tony? How's it going this morning, my brother? I really want to talk about something that you brought up to me, which was, a day or two ago. We're talking about the West Coast version of the Negro League that I had no idea that ever existed.
Okay, yes. We did have that discussion, Rodney, and we were talking about the West Coast Baseball Association, which is a Negro baseball league that was created here on the West Coast back in 1946. The owner was Abe Sapenstein, who was the owner of the Harlem Globetrotters, and Jesse Owens, the four-time gold medalist back in the 1936 Olympics and stuff. There were some other players that was involved too, but the whole point of emphasis was to create a baseball league, a Negro baseball league here on the West Coast. Started once again in 1946. Unfortunately, first of all, let me mention there were 6 teams. There were 6 teams: the Oakland Larks, the San Diego Tigers, the San Francisco Sea Lions, and the Seattle Steelheads. Now, the San Diego Tigers, they split time with the city of Fresno down here in the Central Valley, and the Portland Rosebuds and the Los Angeles White Sox. Now, the Los Angeles White Sox, they played in Wrigley Field in Los Angeles. Yes, not the Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois, the famed Wrigley Fields where the Chicago Cubs play at, but Wrigley Fields in Los Angeles. And this exhibit is on display at the Oakland African American Museum. Now, what I would say, it didn't last that long, because this is 1946. In 1947, Jackie Robinson was pulled up from the Negro League. I think he was playing with the Kansas City Monarchs to play with the Brooklyn Dodgers at that time. So after that, the league kind of folded. But it was a pretty interesting, clever idea to have it out here on the West Coast. That's the West Coast Baseball Association, because they did have a plan for some of the Negro baseball leagues on the East Coast, from places like the Kansas City Monarchs, the Chicago Americans, the Homestead Grays, to play games here on the West Coast at that time. That was the plan. But yes, this is pretty unknown. It hasn't been getting a lot of coverage, play. It's historical. But if you're interested in this piece of history, folks, please go online to the Oakland African American Museum. It is on display at the museum in Oakland, but they do have a minor exhibit online that you can check out. This great history, Black history. And Black history is every day.
So let's get started on this show, though. I know everybody's waiting on this Super Bowl reaction. I'm about to bring in Mr. Rick Fame. We all know that he is definitely Mr. Eagle himself. Fly, Eagles, fly. I give you that love this morning. And then Mr. Fame, introduce yourself so I can bring in our next host that's ready to rock this out with us.
Yes, absolutely. It's your finest barber in the city, Ricky Fang, here broadcasting live and direct.
All right. Next on the coming up is my guy, Mr. D Speed, Mr. Dwayne D Speed of what's up, man? How you doing this morning?
Mama, I made it on TV. Hey, cock-a-doodle-doo,
Hey.
cock-a-doodle-doo, players, man. How y'all doing, man? And once
Hey, what's
again,
going on?
honored to be here. As you can see, D Speed the Barber of D Speed the Barber Legend Barber Studio. Here with my guys, man. There's no place like home. It always feels good to step in and be on the platform with these outstanding, what my boy Rick say, Nubian brothers.
All right. Check this out. So let's talk about the Super Bowl, y'all. Rick, it's your team, Mr. Fame. You
Yes,
called
sir.
it from day one. You called it from week one. You did that on In the Cut. Now we're here at HAIRitage Sports Talk. How you feeling about the game? Did your team do the right things? Well, evidently they did. They smashed them. Go ahead. How you feeling, bro?
Man, first of all, I would like to say that I'm still partying from last night. My boys, man, they did what I knew they were capable of doing, is, scoring a lot of points and keeping their foot, the foot on, the opposite opponent's neck and never letting up. Of course, towards the end of the game, we let them score a couple points, but overall, man, I give it an A+, man, for the whole team, man. They were really on point. They were very sound. Usually, sometimes the Eagles will get, especially when it comes to a loss, we'll get a little bit frustrated. We'll get a little jumbled and turned around and kind of get lost. But we kept focused, man, and we executed.
We had the conversation. I said, if you guys go into this game and smash them in the mouth and keep punching and punching and punching, we all had this discussion. It's not just me. We all talked about it. You got to take the refs out of the game. D Speed talked about it like for the last 3-4 weeks. Like, if we can just have a football game and let them play man ball, then we'll see a different outcome. Do you guys believe that with them coming out and just smashing them in the mouth and letting them know like the refs ain't gonna be a part of this game, that played a big part of it? Because we've seen the Chiefs like win many games by 2 or 3 points. Where are we sitting at?
Hey, Rod, man. This particularly is from a dog, Rick. I know you said you're still partying, bro, but I got this for you, okay? I want you to pay close attention. Matter of fact, I want to see your reaction when I drop this, Rick. So yeah, this is my dedication to you, my brother. You ready?
Shoot.
All right, let me stop. I don't want to get sued by nobody. Nah. Hey,
You all
man.
right?
Y'all did it, bro. Y'all did it. Y'all came
Man,
out and socked them boys in the mouth. You had that boy Pat Mahomes run it like he was, bro. I ain't seen him run like that. He didn't know which way to run. It was 2 plays. He was like, man, they coming from everywhere. Yes. Thank you. Take the refs out, and you're going to see some hard mouth football. And what happened was what was supposed to happen. The Eagles did what they were supposed to do. They were the team that they've always been. Now they stood on business in the biggest game ever and showed y'all what this is supposed to be about. I love
Yeah,
it.
for sure. I got kind of worried at first on that first play from AJ Brown when they threw a flag on it and called offensive
Boy,
pass interference. I was like, here we go again with these refs, man. I believe it wasn't a pass interference. Rodney, I don't know what you think about that one. You think it was an offensive pass interference at the beginning of the football game?
I can honestly say that you guys played like the most straight up game. Your offense was on, but more than less the offense being on, because they did hold Saquon. They held Saquon down, but they forgot that there was other threats on the team. One thing that you guys did do, you took that defense and you stuffed the defense into that man's face. And I will say that by halftime, by the time Kendrick performed, Kendrick had more yards than the whole Kansas City squad when you break it down. Kendrick walked when he looked at the microphone. He said,
Yeah.
"Hey Kendrick, I hear you like them young." When he walked when he did that 17, 20-yard walk, he had more yards than the whole Kansas City in the first half. And I wanted to smile, but
that was the biggest stage I ever
gloat, bro. It's your day. Go ahead, Fame.
Come on,
Tony. Wait, before you go, because you're gonna keep talking and you ain't gonna stop. Tony, what'd you feel about the game?
Hey, Rick Payne, I got to give it up to you, man. That was a great game. The Philadelphia Eagles did as far as that defense, that front line defense was holding it down. Yeah, they were putting the pressure on Patrick Mahomes. He was not getting no time back there. The offensive line, they was collapsing everywhere. And of course, Patrick Mahomes threw a couple of interceptions. That made a difference. The running game for Kansas City couldn't get off. I don't think any of their running backs ran over 10 yards. Probably not even over 9 yards. At least that's what I was checking out. So that was what I was expecting as far as, a Super Bowl win, because you didn't want to leave it in the hands of the officials, because all those other close games that Kansas City had won, throughout the season probably would have played a factor in this one as well. But Jalen Hurts, he did his job. I think he ran for 272 yards, and he punched one in on the ground. He threw two in the air for about 221 yards. That was basically all needed. Yes, they did have the weapons, and was that Xavier, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith. He called a TD. All that played a big factor in that too. What was it, about 34-0 before we even looked up? And then the next thing you know, garbage time. Here come Patrick Mahomes. If you look at his stats, you think he was having a game, aside from those two interceptions, but that wasn't the case. They got him throwing 3 TDs. He did. He threw for 250 yards? He did. But he was pressured through that whole game. Got to give it up to that defense, especially that pick six by the that other was he a quarterback? Safety, I believe, wasn't he? Yeah. Got to give it up to him, man. Congratulations, you're a champion. You're a champion, Rick Payne.
I couldn't believe it when they showed the halftime stats and they comparisons, and then we had 240 something yards to the Chiefs 20 yards or something for the whole half. That's crazy.
Y'all deserve it.
They're definitely getting outplayed.
Y'all deserve it. Y'all team came in there and did what y'all was supposed to do. Y'all understood the assignment and executed very efficiently. And what we saw was a clear display of that.
And we got everybody involved too as well. We got AJ Brown involved. We got D. Smith involved. We kept pounding the ball with Saquon. Our defense, man, they're young still, man. We're going to have that core of young men for a few years together, and we're going to be a force to be reckoned with the next few years.
Hey, what's my guy number 33? What's his
Cooper
name?
DeJean?
Boy, listen. Hey, he did his thing, bro. He did his thing. Hey, he hit. You know me, I love defense. I'm also, fan of the offense, of course. But I play defense. I love defense. And to see somebody just go out there every single play and keep going no matter what the score is, I bet you're not going to beat me on this play. He was playing like that. And he got his props. That pick six, phenomenal. Phenomenal, bro.
Yeah, we're going to be good for a very long time, man. Jalen Carter had a good game. I love how he punched Mahomes in his mouth, took the flag, that was just the whole thing. The whole game was just, we're just putting our foot on the Chiefs' neck, man, and it never let up.
It seemed like y'all came out making a statement. Like y'all wanted to make a statement. And it kind of was symbolic and synonymous to the Kendrick performance. Like everybody watched the halftime show looking for a performance. No, but he made a statement. It was a message. And I think I know the Eagles sent a message to not just Pat Mahomes, not just KC, but to the world. Every single player stood on business. And y'all played as a team, bro. Like you saw it. That was team football.
I wouldn't doubt they were in there dancing and celebrating already during the halftime show.
Off top, they was in there 30-30 up, 30-30 up, 30-30 up, 30-30 up.
what was it? What 24-0 at halftime?
Nah, it was 24. Yeah.
Yeah, they were already probably partying in that locker room.
Yes, it was 24-0 at halftime,
Yeah.
and then early in that third quarter, they kicked another field goal.
It was
made it 27-0.
Yeah.
And then I think that's when Devontae Smith caught that TD, and they went up 34-0.
Yep.
34-0. Obviously, the game plan was to put the pressure on Pat Mahomes and not let him get off, and not even let him, how you be getting those long runs, when the things kind of open up for him when he can't find anything down the field. The Eagles controlled that too.
What you
They
see,
controlled
Rod?
that too. What they have? 5 sacks, like 4 sacks in the first half, 3 sacks in the first half. They wasn't playing around with this dude. They stood on business.
Yeah, they really did. They stood up, man, and they stood on that field like we came here to take care of business, and we're not going to stop until that business is taken care of, because they played all the way to the last minute. And of course, in the last 5, 6, 7 minutes, they gave them a couple of, I call them charity touchdowns. The score looked like it was a game, but it wasn't a game. Really, the Chiefs were dominated through the whole game from play 1 on down. They came out, they had efficient offense, they had efficient defense, even though that they tried to shut Saquon down, which I consider the year that Saquon had. They shut him down. But like I said before, the other weapons, the way that Philly played, they just couldn't stop it. And the defense shattered KC's offense. They let the offense know, like, you guys ain't been playing good all year long anyway.
Y'all not.
You done walked into an arena to where we didn't come to play today. We didn't come to let the refs be a part of the game. We didn't come to let you be a part of the game. To be honest with you, I think the Chiefs they were overpowered. So I got a question. Do the Chiefs have to make moves?
Of course.
Definitely.
They got to make
Because they
big
barely
moves.
won throughout the season like that.
Yeah.
Like, they were winning by the new points. Now, take the refs out of it, they wouldn't have had the record they had. The refs played an integral part in their season, and I don't like it. So, no. Talent-wise, I don't think they're a talented team. Yeah, you went to the Super Bowl, but you're not going to be there next year with that same personnel.
They got to get rid of D-Speed, Rick Fang. Y'all know they got to get rid of that offensive line. That's not that you got to. Your quarterback has to have protection. Also, now keep talking about this too. They weakened the wide receiver core too. They need to.
Yeah.
I know they have, one of the receivers was out all season, and he played pretty good in the Super Bowl last season. They got to get a couple more receivers. You're not going to survive off of DeAndre Hopkins next season if you're bringing him back. Also, the running game is kind of weak too. Pacheco, ineffective, been hurt all season anyway. Kareem Hunt always liked his game too, but that defense, the name of the game is they have a good pass rushing defense, and they can stop the run too. They stopped him too. I think Kareem Hunt probably carried the ball for like 3 or 4 times early in the first half. No traction, shut him down. They got some hole. Yeah, they're a talented team, but they have some hole. They even took Travis Kelce out the equation. All right. Yep. He didn't get his first catch until like in the middle of the third quarter or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ineffective. Don't let him have nothing. Okay?
You know who else they didn't show?
Up to.
Hey, Tom, guess who else? Guess who else they didn't show like that? I didn't see a lot of Taylor Swift moments. I didn't see a lot of it, bro. They showed her a little bit, but I didn't see it. Wasn't no.
Talk about the reactions.
I didn't get one of them. I didn't get one of. Oh my god.
And then when they showed her, they booed her.
Oh yeah. Yeah, them Swifties, I better be cool. They gonna jump me. I don't want no smoke.
Super Bowl.
You're gonna have Swifties outside your studio,
I don't
bro.
want no smoke, bro. I ain't got no problem
about
with the Swifties, bro. I'm with you.
At all.
I also think that on the Kansas City side, they really have a lot of journeyman type of players that's been through the league with different teams and pretty much almost done with their careers. So I think they really have to think back and getting some new, fresher, younger players, maybe drafting a few good draft picks. Like I said, they got
So-
Green Hunt. He's been on the team twice. So, there's a lot of journeyman-esque players on the Chiefs. I think they need to kind of clean house in a way, so to speak.
Y'all
So
did
Fame.
like the death of the dynasty.
You guys are Super Bowl champs. Every year there's a thing called the Super Bowl hiccup, Super Bowl hangover. Do you think that Philly can walk into next year with the same team, even though there's one or two contract that's up, but can you walk into next year with the same team and hopefully have the same success in 25, 26?
Well, first of all, we talk about Super Bowl hangovers. Yeah, man, I think that they'll be able to go ahead and be a good team throughout the next few seasons. Like, they're gonna be the next ones that really people want to go to beat to win.
So that's going to lead me to this question. San Francisco 49ers just got a request from Debo Sambos. I call him Sambos. Look, that's
Sambos,
cold.
come on,
Debo
man.
Samuels. My bad.
You cry, that's crazy.
He wore an Eagles jersey. We know it was in support of AJ Brown.
Come
But
on over, Debo.
with that being said, could you guys use a weapon of Debo's status to come to your team? Not saying he's coming to you guys, not saying that it's even a story that's out there, but could you use that weapon? And would y'all welcome that weapon coming in? Because we know the Niners is about to trade him. We're trading him. The Niners are definitely trading him.
Right, we absolutely have room for him. You can use Debo and multiple positions. I know there's a place that we can find for him in the offense. Maybe bring him in, a couple plays, run some reverses, and even be a factor in the receiving department. Debo is still a good player. He still can get 4 or 5 receptions a game. Still got a little gas in his tank. So, I believe there's a place for him on the Eagles. Absolutely.
Okay. How you feel about that, D?
Man, I hate to see him go, but I understand he got to leave for whatever reasons, his desire or, front office management, whatever the powers that may be. It makes me optimistic for what's to come for the Niners. I would love to see, of course, my dog, my partner, Devontae Adams. I love to see him put on that red and gold. But, they got options. They got Tyreek Hill who wants to come through. And I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of, up-and-coming stars. A lot of these teams are going to be cleaning the house and revamping. And it's dope to see what's about to happen. I'm sad to see Debo go. Like, real talk, he is a phenomenal player. But I understand you have to fit in the schematics of a team and the game plan. And if you're not happy with it and you decide to leave, then bye.
Well, it's apparent that he's unhappy. He's slapping his
Yeah,
players.
he been unhappy. He been unhappy for a while, bro. And it showed. So I'm like, okay, do we do him an injustice? Because if you got an unhappy player playing for your squad, 9 times out of 10, 110% is not what you're going to get from it. We see
That's
that
true.
operable in so many other sports. So I don't want that on my team. Not when I'm trying to breed and get to a championship. That's the goal. No, everybody better be locked in, and we better be fired up.
Well, he's definitely fired up, slapping his teammates in the head on the field. So, I think
Fired
he's
up,
fed
bro.
up with being on the team.
Yeah, off top.
Yeah. So Chicago can use him. What you think, Tom?
I was just about to chime in and say that he's welcome to come to play for the Chicago Bulls. He's still got a lot of,
Chicago Bulls?
gas in this. I'm sorry, the Chicago
Come on,
He
Bears.
said the Bulls can use him. He can be a forward.
I'm slipping. The Chicago Bears. He can come to Soldier Field and play if he like. He can run those reverses and everything too. With Flame in Chicago. Come on, D. Come on,
man.
Debo Samuels. I've always respected, his talent and always wanted or envisioned him in a Chicago Bears uniform. Especially he could help out a young man like the quarterback Caleb Williams. as they go on this journey and stuff. So, if a deal come up like that, I think Chicago should jump on it because, yes, they are. San Francisco is going to move on from him. I think really right now they're going to, invest in Ricky Pearsall, because he seemed like he's going to be the next up-and-coming receiver for the 49ers. So I don't think they're going to, probably lose a step. We know Brandon Ayuk will be back next season, at some point next season, and that's the direction that they go. So, providing how they move on or where they move him on to, if he comes to Chicago, I hope he don't wind up in Kansas City or anything like that. I wish him well. And usually, sometimes, these players, they'll kick it up another level, and I think he still have enough to do that, depending on, what type of system that he can get accustomed to. But, the sky's the limit. He still got a job in the NFL, whether it's 49ers or any other team in the league.
Well, Debo did show up to the Super Bowl in the Philadelphia Eagles jersey, so he might be sending subliminal messages.
Don't do that. And don't squint your eyes when you do that either. I see what you're trying to do there. I see what you're really trying to do. Don't do that, Rick.
Debo's trying to send a message like, hey, guys, I'm available. I want to leave my team. I want to join your team, He knows we're going to be Super Bowl champs.
All right. That's what you're going to do. That's what you're doing right now? That's what you're using your platform to do?
We got more for you, too, Daddy.
Nah, I'm cool. You see this on my head? It's going to stay that way.
Oh, that wave cap you got on your head?
Nah, brother. You see that step? You see that 49? You look. I'm in here.
You already see it.
It says FS.
Hey, I tell you what, Fame. I think the Niners are gonna see you. We'll see you next year in the NFC. I'm gonna call that now. I'm gonna call it right now. What did you guys think about the halftime performance? I'm gonna take you back. Let's go to the halftime performance. What did y'all feel about the halftime performance?
So, you see how
a lot of messages there. Well, number one, great performance by the one and only Kendrick Lamar. As we mentioned, he was on the biggest stage in the world, Super Bowl, because that was a long stage, but they really worked it. A lot of creativity went into it. Once again, a lot of messages. We got the Drake thing going on too, but Kendrick is a storyteller, and he's pretty much the story that he was telling last night, had a lot to do with the Black community. This country had been, built on the Black community's backs, the oppressions and, all the other ills that we've been going through here in America. I think that's what pretty much that he was sending out and letting everybody know in front of, the president, in a hip-hopish way. But I think it was just a magnificent, great performance. Serena Williams coming out doing, the crip walk and things like that. I have to give it up to him and those performers, those background dancers that he had, that choreographic element that they going, through all these changes with the red, white, and blue. I know they spent months on, getting that down, and it worked. And they did it live on television in front of millions and millions of people around the world.
I loved it. I loved it, bro. I loved not only because he put on a show that was a big message. That was a lot of message and gems hidden in that performance. But one of the things I love that not really too many people know about, he put on for a lot of the people that's from the city that I'm from, the city that we're in actually right now. There was a lot of Bay Cats that I seen in the performance, but one of the main dancers, Tone, as you said, bro, is from this city. It's from Sacramento. He had one of the performers, one of the dancers, background dancers, was a gentleman by the name of Keita the Great. I got to meet him a couple times, cut his hair once. Cut his hair a couple times actually. But to see him have that platform and shine, it kind of is a testament to who Kendrick is, who he has always been. Not only did he have the same dude in the video, but now it took him to the Super Bowl and really is staying true to his roots and who he is as an artist. But he threw a lot of message, a lot of gems, a lot of messages, and a lot of gems out there in that performance. It was phenomenal.
I believe the halftime show was from a hip hop culture point of view. Like you said, there was a lot of messages in it. You might have to watch it 3 or 4 times to even understand. But I think Kendrick did a good job. I think he got the message out there. I think he took some shots. I think he eventually pretty much sold up the battle like this is it. It's probably the final chapter. Hopefully it's the final chapter. If not, then it's going to continue to go. But I believe the halftime show was just as good as the game itself. Like it was a knockout. It was that 24-0 at that half point. I want to give a shout out to Kendrick and for what he did and those that participated. SZA did good when she came out. I want to give love out to Serena for coming out. She crip walked and she got in trouble for crip walking when she did it at Wimbledon. So, you know, she got a chance to redeem herself for that due to the fact, like, I always think that if you come from culture and you can't express yourself, then there's an issue with that because we're supposed to live in the world of the free. And if we're living in a world of free, then let me do me. So I'm glad she got the opportunity to do her. And she did herself, and she did it very well as Kendrick and SZA and the rest of them. So for the halftime show, I give it a plus. It's 100. Coming
Hey,
from
let me,
this morning,
I know we're talking about football.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask you guys, you know, Kendrick was wearing, you know, his jewelry and he had the A there. Some people saying that was a message to Drake too with the A minor. I don't know. Did y'all hear anything like that, or do you know anything else
Not
what that symbolizes or what it symbolizes?
I haven't heard anything about it from my end yet. I mean, I know that it's going to be to come a lot of breakdowns of the hidden gems in his performance. That might have been one. I don't know the significance of it. I haven't done no homework on it. But I mean, a lot of people have jaded opinions about his performance too. I think they were looking at it and comparing it to it was supposed to be like a real showman type of like Usher last year, or you know maybe Rihanna, or nah, bro, that's not who he is. And we got to see that, and we got to see who he is and what he stands on. I loved it.
I don't know if the change.
I'll just say this too. It just seems like that, you know, Kendrick is a storyteller, and that's what he was doing. He's telling a story. I'm just saying this from my perspective. And, you know, with using Samuel L. Jackson as the narrator, it's like, we're trying to tell you history. We're hipping you to Black history, stuff that you don't want to be accustomed to, or you don't want to let, you know, the cat out the bag and things like that. So I'm going to tell you this story and I'm going to tell you this way. That's just my perspective of how he did it.
I know we've been talking about football. Let's talk about some football. Let's talk about one of the most popular sport, if not the most popular sport that's coming up, that is throughout the world. I want to introduce my man, Mr. Marcos Quintana, the Cuban barber. It's the Champions League that's going on right now. Mr. Quintana, can you explain to us what the Champions League is, how it operates, the new format that they have, and what it means to you?
Yeah. Well, okay. First and foremost, so Champions League is basically one of Europe's biggest tournaments for the soccer clubs, and it's the best out of the best teams in Europe are able to qualify and play for it. And the way you qualify is if in your league you win the league, you get first place in the league, you automatically qualify for the tournament. So that's why this tournament is so hard to win, and it's considered one of the best tournaments because it's only the best of the best teams around the world that get to compete in it, and whoever wins it is considered the best team in Europe. So with that being said, this new year they actually just started the new Champions League format, which is way different from the ones before. This gives more of the lower ranked teams an opportunity to be able to qualify for the tournament, whereas in back then they didn't really look at the lower ranking teams. You know, they really more focused on big top European teams. This way they're able to do playoffs, and if they win some of the playoffs, they qualify for Champions League. So it's fair, and it's a really cool format that a lot of people are starting to like now. So that's what Champions League basically is, and we're right in the middle of it. We just got through the playoffs right now with the lower teams, so now it's the big teams that are going to go based off going against each other in these the last 16 round of 16, I believe. So it's a cool tournament that's going on right now. It's definitely one of the biggest tournaments in soccer aside from the World Cup. And I enjoy it a lot. I love soccer. I've always watched soccer growing up. I've played soccer growing up. So yeah, that's basically what it is.
Well, let me ask you this question then, Marcos.
Yeah.
It seems like, you know, you're really knowledgeable, you know, the real football, and we're talking about soccer here. how long you been playing and how long you been active in it, and why these professional league is so important to you.
So I played soccer all my life. I started when I was about 6 years old, all the way up until present. I still play to this day for fun more now, rather than being competitive. I was more competitive back in the day, but with age and injuries, you slowed down a bit. But I've always loved soccer. It's always been a sport that's brought my family together. We've always came together and watched it Sunday nights, Saturday nights. And Champions League for me in general, it's one of my favorite tournaments. You never know who's going to win. It's always the top teams, but everybody always assumes it's this team that's going to win. It's this team that's going to win. When in reality, you never know. You never know, and that's what's so exciting about Champions League, and that's why this new format that's going into play makes it more exciting, because now we have these lower teams that can have a good day and beat one of these big teams, and you're sitting there like, whoa, like that's not supposed to happen. So that's what makes this whole Champions League to me so exciting, and this new format that's about to begin.
How did that compare to the World Cup? Because the way you explained it seemed like it's a really exciting sporting event, and something that
when we compare Champions and the World Cup, everybody knows that World Cup is way bigger than Champions League. World Cup for football, for soccer, is considered the peak tournament. So there's the World Cup, and then there's Champions League. We're in the middle of Champions League right now, but the World Cup's every 4 years. So the next World Cup won't be till 2026, and we just went to the 2022 one right now, which Argentina won. My favorite team, of course. But that's the only difference. The World Cup is a lot bigger. The World Cup, it's more national teams, so it's Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, whereas in Champions League, it's more club teams. So teams from like Europe, from like Spain, teams from like England, teams from those areas. So that's the difference.
Well, right here in my heart, I always follow. I used to follow when I was young. When Pele was playing, the Brazilians, and today, I don't keep in contact with follow them as much as I used to. Mm-hmm. I did a few years ago, but Barcelona football club. Matter of fact, I still got a lot of their gear and stuff like that. But do you watch any of the matches that take place here in Sacramento? And I mean, the Sacramento Republic?
Of course. I watch MLS a lot, actually. Mm-hmm. I do. I keep up with MLS. I watch. I've been to a couple of their games, actually, and I have a little cousin who was actually able to walk on the field with one of the players. So great. I love the MLS. MLS is a good tournament. It still, has a long way to get to where it needs to be compared to European soccer, but it's getting there. I'm starting to like how MLS is starting to look, and specifically because we have teams from Europe, or players from Europe, that are coming to play with these MLS teams. We have Messi, who just came, Lionel Messi, who just came to the Inter Miami team, and he is considered one of the world's best players in the world, So him coming to the U.S., and bringing that knowledge from European soccer to us, it's really good for MLS soccer.
I want to thank you for sharing that information with us, because I know here in Northern California, there's 250,000 youth that play the club sport all over. When I was photographing, soccer matches for the 19 and under groups. I used to go out there and the Bay Area, in the Peninsula, Foster City. They used to have some big matches out there that I used to like to go out there and watch. That would be a 3 day event and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, soccer is really big out here in Northern California, as you know, right here in Sacramento, as it is, within your heart around the world. So thank you for coming on here and sharing that. We've got to bring you back and talk a little bit more about, the sport of soccer, because yes, there is a lot of Black and brown people around here that's getting involved with it too. So we want to keep that going. Thank you, Marco.
This is the introduction. Well, I got way more for y'all coming. So
right on. We need some of that flavor.
All right. Hey, look, I want to thank everybody that joined us today. I want to thank you guys that's on here right now. Hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to that 1,000. We appreciate y'all like every time. This is HAIRitage Sports Talk, where we talk about everything on the inside. We speak about everything on the outside, but we deal with everything in the cut also. We listen to the rumors, but we only reporting the facts. So therefore, Mr. Katana, I want to thank you for bringing that information to us. We will be talking about this more in the future. Mr. Fame, congratulations to you and your Eagles. Mr. D Speed, you know I appreciate you, bro. It's always love. And Mr. Tony Harvey, thank you for sitting by my side through this ride. Until next time, this is HAIRitage Sports Talk. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Until the next one, we'll see you guys. It's all about the loved ones, and that's what it's about.
Peace, love, and solidarity.